Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. Let's start this video off with a very strange update of Big Ramy. I almost didn't cover this update because we can't really take much from it and I have no idea what Big Ramy is doing. But just my perspective, Ramy's physique does look fresh here. And if you guys don't know what I mean by that, a lot of people said it looked like Ramy was melting at the Mr. Olympia, and I don't see that look here. But hopefully Ramy's able to bring his best to this Arnold Classic, because anything lower than a first place or a second to Nick Walker would be a huge loss to a former two-time Mr. Olympia. And speaking of Nick Walker, we have some recent updates from the Mutant. Nick is looking very good in these updates, condition, but also looking a little bit flat. And I have heard a few people say maybe Nick is pushing conditioning too far and is going to come in small to this Arnold Classic. And that's crazy. Nick Walker and the word small, they just don't belong in the same sentence. But Nick and Matt Jansen have yet to miss the mark, so I doubt they will at this Arnold Classic. And actually, from prep to the stage, Nick Walker makes a huge transformation, probably the biggest transformation of any bodybuilder in the sport. And speaking of transformations, we actually have a recent one from Samson Dauda, 3 weeks out from last year's Arnold Classic versus 3 weeks out from this year's Arnold Classic. And the improvements that Samson has made over the past year honestly don't even make sense. To me, he already looks better than the Mr. Olympia. He beat his Mr. Olympia package at 6 weeks out. But I can only wonder, Olympia has such terrible backstage conditions. How would this Samson Dauda have done at the Mr. Olympia? But switching over to Patrick Moore, who is also competing in the Arnold Classic, recently posted up an update. And everyone is looking forward to seeing this guy on stage. Very aesthetic physique. Patrick has not competed in over a year, but he is throwing his hat into a very competitive Arnold Classic lineup. Patrick is very competitive from the front and the side. I feel like he's going to lose a little bit of ground from behind. And we are next to Nick Walker, Andrew Jack, even Kamal Elgargni, Justin Rodriguez have great backs. But looking forward to seeing Patrick, and hopefully he places well. Now, the next guy we're going to talk about is Hunter Labrada. Hunter is currently sitting at 280 pounds, and on a recent video on his channel, he said this offseason he will be eating more whole foods. So I'm not sure if Hunter is going to completely cut out the chicken shakes, or if he's just going to go from drinking 3 shakes a day to drinking 2. But either way, I think it's a step in the right direction. And Hunter thinks this will help with his digestion and also help with his midsection. But on a side note, Hunter looks pretty good in this update. But I want you guys to realize, Hunter placed 4th at the Mr. Olympia, 7th at the Mr. Olympia last year. This guy is prepping on drinking chicken shakes. Imagine how he's going to look actually putting whole foods into his body. But be looking out for Hunter to compete in 2 shows this year to work on his peaking process. I'm going to guess there's going to be Tampa and Texas. Now switching over to Justin Rodriguez. I've said this before. I take a look at the update on the left and I'm a little bit worried. I think maybe Justin needs a break. I take a look at the update on the right and I'm like, this can actually be pretty competitive. Hopefully Justin places well at this Arnold Classic, but after this show, I think he should shut it down. Don't continue to steamroll it into the New York Pro, because I know he's a New York native and really wants to win that show. I think if Justin takes a little bit of time off, adds on 5 or 10 more pounds, he will be more competitive. And switching over to Kamal Elgargni, who is also prepping for the 2023 Arnold Classic. Almost similar to Justin Rodriguez, I look at the update on the right of Kamal and I'm a little bit worried. It seems like either because of old age or adding size, Kamal's waist may be getting a little bit wider. And then I take a look at the update on the left. Kamal looks pretty good here. And Kamal is taking a big risk jumping into this Arnold Classic lineup. If we flash back to last year, Kamal placed 2nd to Akeem Williams at the Tampa Pro. I don't think anyone has Akeem in their top 5 going into this Arnold Classic. And that's by no means talking down towards Akeem. So with Akeem beating Kamal last year, it's hard for me to see Kamal being a threat in this lineup. But once again, it's possible that he shocks me, but he is taking a very big risk jumping into a very competitive open class Arnold Classic. And switching over to James Hollingshead, who posted this up recently, I'm not 100% sure if it's recent, but we're going to take it as it is. James is looking pretty good in these updates, looking very bubbly. And after the Mr. Olympia where he placed 16th, he said he was just going to take a little bit of time to chill out and he would give us updates on competition plans a little bit later in the year. But James is a guy I feel like has been struggling with his confidence since he placed 11th at the 2021 Mr. Olympia, or he could have placed 12th. But either way, James had a lot of hype going into this show, probably because Fuad Abiyad's podcast. Almost everyone had James in the top 6 or the top 8, and since that Mr. Olympia, I think he's been a little bit off. But overall, I think James should just focus on coming in as conditioned as possible. In his last few showings, I think he emphasized fullness a little bit too much, leading to him coming in soft and maybe a tad bit watery. And maybe he should hire a coach, just maybe. Now switching over to 212, we have a recent update from Keone Pearson, who placed 6th at the 2022 212 Olympia. And with Keone, I feel it's just a matter of time. This guy has the genetics, he has the mindset, he has a great coach in Patrick Tour who is good with getting guys in shape. Also is with a great supplement company, X & Sledge, led by Seth Feroci. To me, it's only a matter of time with Keone, guys. And switching over to Classic Physique, we have a recent update from Robert Timms, and oh my God, this back double bicep is insane. I can't even think of one guy in the Classic Physique division that has this type of width other than Robert and Chris Bumstead. Really looking forward to seeing this guy hop on stage. He is constantly knocked for the legs, but this guy has one of the best upper bodies in the Classic Physique division and possibly one of the best backs. Take a look at the bicep peaks from behind. This guy's physique is really impressive. I don't think Robert gets enough credit. Now staying in the Classic Physique division, a little bit under 3 weeks out from the Arnold Classic, recent updates from Mike Sommerfeld. And these updates have been edited just a little bit, but I'm looking forward to seeing him on stage. He placed 5th at the Mr. Olympia, so on paper, he should be 3rd behind Ramon Dino or Urs Kalasinski. But is it possible that he pushes Urs? Mike has beat Urs in the past, but that was at least 2 years ago. And let's wrap up this video here with the archive of the day. Let me know in the comment section below who is this legendary bodybuilder. And bonus points to anyone that can name him without looking up how to spell his name. But as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, the link to my Instagram is in the description below. I post on Instagram every single day, all day, even if I'm not on YouTube. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.